Oh, look out. Guess what we're doing?
What
we are
doing?
Oh, Smiffy, we are podcasting.
I like that.
Welcome to the Shipyard. We, of course, are the Boys at the Yard, presented by thebeardclub.com. Go on and get yourself a funky, fresh-looking beard.
I like funky, fresh beards.
Funky, fresh beards.
That way.
You bring the beard, you bring the funk.
And the fresh.
And the fresh. Fresh is important, maybe more so than funk.
Yes.
Regardless, it is No Save November, and get yourself looking right in the face by going to thebeardclub.com/the-best-deal-ever. Wait, no, there's too many dashes in there. Just look in the show notes. You'll see the link in there.
However, no space on your face. Get that beard going.
No space on your face. All right, so no space on your face, no space in the seats, Smiffy.
That is even more important in my opinion.
That is extremely important. And I just want to take one quick second at the top of this show.
Time's up.
Dang it. Okay, I want to take like 30 seconds.
Okay.
To reiterate our goal.
Please do.
What's our goal? Our goal is to get the average attendance of Fleet games to the magical number of 28,000 per game.
28,000
or above.
532.
Yes.
To be more precise.
We won't go into the specifics right now on why we're targeting that number.
No.
It may have something with the letters F and the letters U.
Oh.
Though. I digress, you guys. Listen, it's fun times around here. We're not all about the negativity.
Never ever, but sometimes.
Sometimes we get a little cranky. Okay, sorry, what were you going to say?
Oh, I needed, shout out to Noodles for filling in for me earlier.
Oh, Noodles did a bang up job for you during the solo mini podcast.
I was impressed.
Man, she really nailed it. Every time I told her to speak, she spoke.
She does. She's got a face made for radio.
Yeah. I mean, the similarities between you two are staggering.
Still so staggering that it's just phenomenally different.
I did find Smiffy. Of course, he was off wandering in the desert.
Yeah, I was contemplating. Sometimes you just need to get out and think about things, clear your head, and
speaking of Noodles.
Oh yeah, well,
Noodles has come in here with her very loud chew toy. Hang on, what? Noodles, you can't chew that while we're podcasting, girl. It's too loud. It's too loud. Okay,
sorry, Noodles.
So. This week, Smith, we had some big news.
We do.
We had some big news, but before we get to that, I want to give out our Crisp 5 of the Week, the Mike Martz Crisp 5 of the week. It goes to none other than the Title Advance.
Yes.
This guy has been one of our biggest supporters on the Twitter.
Appreciate it.
And he's always commenting funny, good stuff, and we appreciate it, man. So Crisp 5 of the Week. Of course, that does not come with an actual $5 bill. It is a virtual.
It's in spirit.
High five. We'll call it the high five. Well, we can't do that in reality either.
So another virtual thing.
You won the award, man. Good job. So, guys, we had an eventful week. Very, very eventful.
Busy.
So we got contacted by none other than Jeff Gardner, who is the president of the fleet.
Yes.
And he said, "Hey guys, loving what you're doing with the shipyard. Why don't you come on in and we'll have a meeting about it.
And let's talk about stuff.
Let's talk about some topics," he said.
Yes, he did.
And so we did.
Table and chairs and everything.
Yeah. So we did. We sat down and talked about topics together, and it was super, super cool. And a lot of things came out of the meeting. But I would say the biggest is that basically, they love the show, and they're all about giving us access to the front office, so the GM, players. Really, we have an open line of communication straight to the fleet now, which blows my mind.
Totally. I was just flabbergasted, and that's a multiple syllable word there that I don't like to use often. But yeah, it was actually amazing just how open and welcoming everybody was there.
Yeah.
We it wasn't just Jeff that we met with. We met with Johnny Castillo as well,
the VP of marketing,
and just fantastic people to talk to. Very I know this may sound cliche, but very passionate about what they're trying to do with the fleet and get the fans involved and put some butts in those seats.
Might also say that the entire staff, their beard game was very strong.
Oh, the beard game was excellent.
On point with the beards. So when you get a whole group of guys and they're all got great beards, except for David Bowling. But, you know,
it's understandable.
Listen, David Bowling had his own style going.
He did.
That dude is awesome.
Yes.
And he is an account exec for season tickets. And we'll be talking more about him later. But what's interesting is the GM's name is David Bowler. And the account exec is David Bowling. So that's got to get confusing.
Absolutely. I can only imagine their Outlook appointment calendar for meetings. But I do like the whole, bowling theme that they have going on. Let's go play some tin pin, man.
We should, man. Let's knock down some bowling pins.
Yeah, eat patty melts.
Patty melts, turkey melts.
Yeah.
Get some nachos.
But I'm sure that can get confusing. They're trying to, hey, Dave, Mr. Bull.
They every time you send an email, you have to type out the entire. You have to at least get to the third letter of the last name.
Yes.
Anyways, we digress. Very similar names. That's always a fun topic. In fact, I hate it, Smith. One of the things that I hate about watching football.
What's that?
Is when a quarterback and a receiver has the same last name.
Oh.
And the announcers just get so delighted with themselves. They do. Like when Aaron Rodgers his tight end was also Rodgers. Be like, Aaron Rodgers passes. I can't remember his.
The other Rodgers.
Who is. Oh, man.
Sparky Rogers.
We'll call him Sparky Rogers. For some reason but Aaron Rodgers would be like, and the announcer, probably Collinsworth, would be like, Aaron Rodgers passes to Sparky Rogers. It's the funniest thing.
And this guy.
Now, look, here's a guy with the same last name as another guy.
Good thing his last name's not Smith.
Lord. I think Smith is the one thing that gets a pass.
I think
it's so
has
common.
to. It has to. But yeah.
Anyway, that drives me crazy. So long story short, we had a fantastic meeting with the fleet directly, and we're really, really looking forward to what's going to come out of that. There will be more on that in the shows to come.
Yeah, some stuff we just can't say right now, which is okay, and it's not that it's bad stuff or anything like that. It's just
no,
we just can't say.
So one thing I will probably want to touch on though is we did gain some insight as to the lack of marketing to date.
That was interesting.
And basically the theory here is if you look at the XFL, they did the exact opposite of what the AAF is doing right now, where they came at it with marketing like nobody's business.
Out of the gate,
they marketed so much that they just neglected putting a good product on the field.
Yeah.
And the AAF is spending all of their time developing this product and making sure that they are going to have a solid product that, in all honesty, they're funded through 3 years. So if attendance numbers aren't there in year one, it's not the end of the league. It's not the end of the league.
Yeah.
So what they are focusing on is creating incredibly good football, which will bring fans in.
Totally.
And
which I think is the way to do it. Put the good product on the field, people will show up.
Exactly. And the marketing will come. It's going to come. We're going to see a lot of it in the months preceding the season. I think it's been a little frustrating for people like us who are just chomping at the bit for anything that we can literally talk about. We spent 10 minutes talking about a fake jersey.
Right.
But so hearing that and I think I'd kind of heard that before, but talking directly with them and gaining the understanding of what they're trying to do and how they're trying to go about it and settled the nerves a little bit about it, because it's not so much about this year one. Like, they're not if the attendance isn't absolutely insane, they're not going to throw in the towel.
Correct.
And they're going to build upon it. They're going to keep improving on it, and they're going to look at what works and what doesn't and make changes.
Totally.
And so they don't want to overpromise anything at this point.
I don't blame them.
They just want to make good football.
Yeah. Who doesn't want to watch good football?
Yeah. Exactly. And if you look at the coaching staffs are a testament to that. I think the players they're bringing in are a testament to that.
Absolutely.
And the coaching staff, though, really is the big tell.
I can't wait to talk to them.
Yeah, I am excited, especially if we get to talk to Mike Martz.
That would be...
Which is a possibility. I'm not going to say it's going to happen, but it's a possibility. And if we do, holy smokes.
It's going to be one heck of a podcast.
Will be flowing.
You won't even be able to hear the interview because of all the Chris Fives.
That's true. So... Anyway, we're a little giddy about the whole experience, to be honest, because it's just really cool to be included at this ground level. I mean, we're nobodies. We started a tiny podcast.
Speak
we have
for
71.
Yourself, sir.
We have 71 followers on Twitter.
No, now we have 69.
Oh, 69.
Yes.
Yeah, we lost 2 followers today.
Thanks.
So we are really killing it over here on our end.
Knocking it out of the park.
But still, they recognize what we're doing and they see the value in it and they want to help us out. So
you bring up a good point about the recognition thing. Here we are. We have the president, basically the executive staff of the team is like listening to us and like, hey, we like what you're doing. Come on in. What can we do to help? What can, because they really really want the fans involved. And that's important. Like we have an opportunity. I was just thinking about this today. We have an opportunity. This is an inaugural season of a professional sports entity. Mm-hmm. And man, now's the time to get in. Like this is where, you put your mark on the team as a fan. Like, here we are, we're calling ourselves the Shipyard and, we're going to be in the end zone and that's good. We're calling it ourselves the Shipyard and,
they latched onto that idea and we're like, we love that. That's phenomenal. Let's help you develop that. And literally starting next week, we're going to have our own code for season tickets to help fill up specifically the Shipyard.
Yes.
So
F19, by the way.
F19, if you just need them now, F19 is where you want to be. And Smithy, it really goes back to what we were talking about in episode 1, where we have this opportunity to define a sports culture, which comes along like never.
Never, exactly.
And they recognize this. They're not going to be like, hey, this is going to be called this and this is going to be called this. They're looking and listening to what the fans are already doing, and they're reaching out to us, not just us, but various groups, and helping facilitate that culture growth. And letting us do what we're doing to
Okay, Noodles.
Come here. Just pet the damn dog, Smithy. She just wants you to pet her and you put your hands behind your back.
I don't know. I'm like, hey.
There you go. Man, Noodles is just insisting on being part of the show.
I know. You give her one episode.
Give her a taste and she wants the whole cake.
Man.
Oh, Lord.
Microphone diva.
So anyways, what's cool is that, and to wrap it up and just repeat myself, because that's what I do, is
a lot.
Hey.
I'm just kidding.
They're just reaching out to us. They're looking at what the fans are doing, and they're interested in facilitating,
very open.
Very open.
Extremely open. And like, you
helping us
don't
out.
See that.
It's really cool. Really encouraging. We saw
encouraging.
some of that going on in Memphis with the Memphis podcast.
Right.
And so it's just cool to see this same type of thing developing here in San Diego. So
yeah. So I think, if people are worried of getting in, like, not just a financial investment with buying tickets, but just the emotional investment of being a fan of a team, I really don't think you have much to worry about if you love football.
It's good. All optimism on our end.
Totally impressed with that front office. I didn't get any like whisper of attitudes or anything. It's
just very approachable,
very approachable, down to
humble
earth
dudes.
Yes, that just want to put a good product on the field and hopefully sustain this for years to come.
And they're not rolling in here like they have all the answers.
Right.
They're rolling in with open arms and open ears.
Yes.
And be like, tell us, San Diego, you just went through a very traumatic experience.
Right.
Tell us what we can do to make this as great as we could possibly make it.
Yeah. And they're going to try.
And they're going to listen. I honestly believe they're going to listen and do, what the fans are want, man. It's going to be great.
Totally. And then like the first game, free puppies for all the kids.
Free puppies for all the kids.
Yes.
But actually, back to the president, Jeff Garner. He comes from minor league baseball.
Yes.
Which is notorious for awesome promotions.
Oh, yes. I love minor league baseball games.
Yeah. And so we talked about some of the incredible, promotions that his team used to do. And so they've got some really cool ideas spinning that we're not going to dive. Well, we don't want to ruin the surprise, but some of the promotions and the things that they've been talking about internally are very encouraging, very fun sounding. So I think it's going to be, a lot of fun.
And now it's time for Conspiracy Corner. Ooh, this sounds interesting.
I just love the audio effects on all of our segments.
It's an awesome board.
Yeah, Conspiracy Corner. So last week when I did the mini podcast, which, by the way, Smiffy, was just a journey into the depths of my psyche that nobody has ever experienced before.
It was 10 minutes of Willy Wonka-ish experience.
It gets real weird when Smith's not here to keep things in order. So if you have not checked out the mini episode,
the scary part is I'm the level-headed one. Scary.
So, Conspiracy Corner. This is where we throw out some conspiracy theories that we have. And I touched on this one last week, and I wanted to talk about it with you, Smithy. But I watched the XFL 30 for 30.
Right.
This was the XFL. It was really, really good. If you haven't watched it, go out and watch it. Find it. It's on ESPN Plus. They have a 7-day free trial, so you could just free trial it, watch it, and go.
Yeah, a whole week.
But my theory, basically, in a nutshell, was that I think the XFL and AAF are in cahoots for an eventual merger.
Oh,
they are in cahoots because if you look at it, it's McMahon and Ebersol.
Yep.
The old man Ebersol who started the XFL with Vince McMahon, and now his son Charlie Ebersol, who is starting the AAF. The relationship is just too tight there.
Yeah, there's a lot of coincidences, quote unquote.
A lot of coincidences. The only thing is that they're not coming out in the same year. They haven't been contentious, I guess, in the press at all.
Yeah, there's been no back and forth.
Yeah.
Hey, why are you getting on our turf or anything like that?
So the worry is that, the obvious worry for people thinking about the XFL starting up is that they're not going to have a talent pool big enough after the AAF has kind of chosen the cream of the crop.
Right.
But if you think about this, the top 1% of NFL of football players are in the NFL.
Correct.
The top 2% are going to be in the AAF. And I think the 2% pool is much larger than the 1% pool.
Oh, it definitely is. Think about all the schools that are out there.
Yeah. And if you're looking at it, I think the XFL is promising a 10-team or 8-team
10-game season.
10-game season. There's just a lot of simpatico.
Oh,
simpatico. And I would not be surprised if in a couple of years we start seeing a championship game between the two leagues.
That would actually be kind of cool.
And in my mind, I don't think that's that bad of an idea.
No.
It could be kind of cool. My theory is that that's just the plan from the get-go, and they're not letting anybody in on it. I could be totally off base. I probably am off base, but hey, this is Conspiracy Corner.
That's why we call it Conspiracy Corner.
Wait, what do we call it?
Conspiracy Corner!
Yeah, we can't say Conspiracy Corner without the audio effect.
No, it's impossible. Actually, I think it's a new law.
It is a new law.
All
right.
Oh, welcome back, Noodles.
Welcome back, Noodles.
Hi. Oh, you got the dinosaur.
So the second conspiracy in Conspiracy Corner is, of course, around the app and the fantasy angle of the AAF.
Yes.
Now,
may I interject?
Please do.
We've actually discussed this a few times over the last week or so, because rumor is you're a huge fantasy football fan.
Huge.
And it would just make sense if right around the time NFL fantasy football starts to wind down. Mm-hmm. It would be
the app.
Yes.
So my thought is that it would behoove the AAF to release and advertise their app and the fantasy angle of their app to fantasy football players before the fantasy season is over.
That makes sense.
Fantasy season is over in the second or third week of December.
Right.
That's when the fantasy playoffs are happening. That's the end of daily fantasy football. I mean, there's still some playoff daily fantasy football, but by and large, 80% of fantasy football is over within by
week
mid
14-ish, right around there.
Yeah,
14,
right.
15?
Championship is typically week 16.
Okay.
So, if you're a fantasy football player like myself, in which you are super into it for all of 16 weeks of football, and then it's over, and then I don't play another fantasy sport until football spins back up the next year. I completely go dark on the fantasy angle.
Yeah.
Now, if you were to tell me that I could still play fantasy football the rest of the year, or at least through spring, I would 100% do that. And that alone would get me into that sport that would let me play fantasy football.
Makes sense.
So my thought is that, of course, this has to have been considered at the AAF. With their focus on fantasy and with their focus on the digital angle, they've got to bump up the release of this app, or at least strongly start advertising to the fantasy community.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, that makes the most sense to me. Yep. I'm not as big of a fantasy football fan as you. I do like doing it.
Yep.
But my world doesn't come to an end after the championship week.
During fantasy football, I know nothing about what happens in the world.
Nope.
But I can tell you the third string running back on every single team in the entire NFL.
It's amazing. Fantasy
I couldn't
football
tell you.
Encyclopedia.
I have no idea what happened this week in current events, locally or nationally, but I absolutely know the injury status of Kiki Cutie on the Houston.
Who I dropped.
I was going to say Rockets.
Houston Rockets.
Houston Texans. Now, by the way, it's looking like QT might play this week.
That son of a bitch.
Yeah, may or may not.
Well, like I was saying earlier, like when I picked him up, he's out. He's questionable. Maybe he's playing. He's questionable. I'm like, you know what, dude, you're gone.
Cut. Oh, wow.
I cut him.
It's brutal.
I cut him.
Well, you know what, Smith? That's why you're not in the playoff race right now, and I'm sitting pretty in third.
Yeah, it's all right.
Now, so as I was saying, though, I have no idea what's going on in the world. As soon as fantasy football's over, I go back to my normal radio station. When it's on, I listen to nothing but Sirius XM fantasy football radio. And I'm not the only one. That thing, I believe, is one of the highest rated channels on all of Sirius XM.
I believe it.
And it is a massive, massive opportunity for the AAF to grab that audience basically right now. They need to do it right now.
Yep.
They need to start immediately because it's a huge way for them to get involved with all of the fans who are not in any of the markets that their teams are in.
Exactly. Pull on those fantasy football heartstrings.
Exactly. And that's how they could capture the entire nation, right? That's how they bring in the rest of the state that's not in the city that happens to be football starved.
Right. And look at actually, that's a good point. Look at some of the states where AAF is in, like Utah, Salt Lake. There's no other professional football team there.
Yep.
Gosh, what's the closest? Denver?
Yeah, Denver, right? So, but it's, if you look at all the rest of the other states, or even the markets that do have their football, that's how they're going to get them. So, anyway, that's my conspiracy corner. Oh crap!
So you did it.
I did it.
My goodness.
We're going to get a phone call. I need a punishment of some sort.
We're going to get like an unlisted phone call. But so that's a good segue, though.
Yes.
Into what we like to call the rumor mill.
The rumor mill. I feel like that should have an audio effect too.
You're right. Huh. Let's find one.
Let's dial one up.
So come with us, listeners, on this journey to find an effect for the rumor mill.
Okay, I'm just going to pick one at random. Let's go to number 24.
24.
This is compelling radio. All right, Smiffy, on the count of 3, you're going to go ahead and say the rumor mill. We're going to be surprised by the audio effect.
Ooh.
3, 2, 1.
Rumor mill. Oh, that's pretty weak.
Rumor mill. Oh, now I think we have a winner for the rumor mill. You have entered the rumor mill.
I think we have a winner.
All right, let's try that one more time. You have entered
The rumor mill.
it kind of makes me a little creeped out.
It does, but I got the shivers.
Not like a good way though.
No,
in like a way that you're trying to
Like,
get
there's somebody
somewhere I
behind me,
don't want you to be. Anyways, the rumor mill. Now, here's a rumor that may or may not from anonymous sources.
Just
Disregard the entire first half of this episode as
Yes.
to what those sources may be. But Charlie Ebersol Charlie Ebersol released on Instagram this week that we will be seeing uniforms within 30 days.
30 days.
30 days. Well, I have it. A little birdie may have whispered that we could be seeing jerseys in as little as 2 weeks from today, Smiffy.
Ooh, that's awesome.
I'm excited. I
am
cannot
too.
freaking wait.
And this is I hope when they do come out, they don't blow it.
Oh, me too, man. I've been doing nothing but mocking up jerseys.
Yeah, you've been
all this week. You've
been a madman with the mock-ups.
Man, I love mocking up jerseys, and I've been spitting them out various places, and people are pretty brutal even on mock-ups.
I know.
And my mock-ups are awesome.
They're like Van Awesome.
Van Awesome, yeah. That's. By the way, Smith, I think we need to come up with new nicknames.
You know what?
I have one in mind for me.
Ooh, what is it?
Sergeant Sailboat.
Oh,
It's more nautical. It's more Navy
is.
themed. I think that's like genuine Navy right there.
it
Sergeant
is.
Sailboat.
That goes back to the foundation of the colonial Navy. It's like, oh, yes, we need a Sergeant Sailboat here to blockade those things.
Hide the booty. Sergeant Sailboat's in town.
Get them pirates. I'm sure they talked exactly like that.
That still
back
holds
then.
up. I mean,
Yeah.
booties are at risk when Sergeant Sailboat's in
I
town.
can hear the creaking of the wood boards on those old ships right now.
Anyway, I don't even think they have sergeants in the Navy, do they?
So,
It does not matter. All right, I will now from this point forward be known as Sergeant Sailboat.
and I happen to have a nickname for myself as well.
Wow.
And I'm keeping with the nautical naval theme as like you.
Okay.
I'm Captain and Tennille.
Well, there we go.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Captain and Tennille. I'm both. I
You're
play
both of
piano
them.
and sing.
Well, we have an authentic, we have our authentic self-given nicknames.
It comes from the heart.
There's nothing cooler than a self-given nickname.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, sorry, Kobe.
All right, but back to it. Back to the rumor mill and the jerseys. We also have it on a certain authority that we may be seeing a progressive release of the jerseys.
Right.
And the helmets. Not the entire uniform at one time. Potentially 2 different releases.
So what that means is, you're going to have a little bit of after turkey jersey reveal day and then possibly a pre-Christmas reveal day.
Yeah.
I mean,
And I think pre-Christmas is obviously important so that the fans can get themselves some Christmas presents.
there you go.
That merch is available.
It is.
I can tell my girlfriend, hey, obviously this is what I want.
Nudge, nudge, wink,
Nudge,
wink.
nudge, wink, wink.
Hello,
She
hello.
listens to the show. Hey, babe.
Hi. Hi.
You look very nice today.
Thanks for letting me do this in your abode.
And might I say, you look very nice.
No,
Everybody who's listening, I'm sure you guys all look very nice.
probably the
mostly-
nicest looking audience out there.
A beautiful, beautiful.
Better, I bet you we have a nicer looking audience than guess who? The San Antonio Commanders.
Oh, the San Antonio
Oh.
Commanders. They have got, by far, the homeliest of the listeners. I don't even think they have a podcast yet.
They don't.
But
so
that's why.
That's why they're the homeliest.
They don't look that good. They're not even there.
No, that's the worst way you can look is just not be there.
I do believe they are spinning up. Somebody is spinning up an audience, a podcast in San Antonio.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. It's going to be terrible.
Oh, like they're already off on the wrong.
There was someone on Twitter who was posting for advice, and the other podcasts were like, "Yeah, sure, buddy, hit me up. I'll help you out." And I was like, "Nope, look elsewhere.
Get out.
Get out. No help from me." The dastardly San Antonio Commanders.
He'd been trying to get pro football there for years. He tried to steal the Saints. He tried to steal the Raiders. You can, you know what? Have fun with your Commanders.
Have fun. We'll definitely have fun with them.
We went
mopping the field with them.
Boy.
Oh! Oh! Take that, Commanders.
Ouch.
Hey, Smith. You know what's good for mopping?
Oh, please do tell me.
Beautifully kempt beard.
Oh, yes.
How are you going to get yourself a beautifully kempt beard, Smith?
Well, I think there's this little company called the Beard Club.
That's right, thebeardclub.com. It is No Shave November, as we mentioned previously. And if you go to thebeardclub.com/best-deal-ever, you will get exclusive deals on phenomenal beard care products. And your beard game will be strong.
Just like the front office of the fleet.
Unlike, I bet there's not a beard amongst the San Antonio front office.
I bet you they got all like these hairless baby faces.
Clean
They won't even be
shaven,
able to,
naked.
The football looks huge in their hands. They're so tiny.
Clean shaven, naked baby faces over there in San Antonio.
That's not even football.
Grow yourself some beard, San Antonio.
Come on, show some pride.
We are, of course, the boys at the yard. Our milkshakes are better than San Antonio's. Smiffy.
You're damn right they're better than San Antonio.
It's going to be good games, good football, good
Professionally
times.
played.
Yeah.
It's not going to be some, hey, let's put on a show like the XFL does.
That's true.
Oh,
Noodles. All right.
And the Noodles.
Noodles is insisting. Noodles, speak. Speak. Good girl. Okay. God, all right, that'll be the end. I'm going to have to put Noodles out soon. All right, so,
Poor
yeah.
Noodles.